Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I would like to take this opportunity to say congratulations to all of you new students of UiTM for being successful in your university application. We are proud to have all of you joining us here in UiTM Cawangan, Johor. My name is Dr. Ahmad Razi Ramli, the Deputy Rector of Academic of UiTM Cawangan, Johor. And in this session, I will be sharing with you the educational approach that you will experience in UiTM, an approach that we term as Education 5.0 at UiTM. Education 5.0 at UiTM is a unique teaching and learning approach that we have developed to fulfill our promises and obligations to our principal stakeholders, namely our country Malaysia, and to our students. To our beloved country, we promise to participate in the nation-building agenda by ensuring that we establish ourselves as a premier university of outstanding scholarship and academic excellence, to the extent that we are capable of producing globally competitive graduates of sound ethical standing. To our students, we promise to nurture generation that is able to lead a better future. This we achieve by ensuring that all of our students will have their knowledge and expertise enhanced at the end of their educational journey. Education 5.0 at UiTM is the UiTM's way of future-proofing our graduates. We do this by constantly evolving, taking into account a multifaceted approach towards education and curriculum design. As a university, we ensure future relevancy by considering important current and future trends, such as the impact of Industrial Revolution 4.0, technological advances, global economic challenges, societal challenges, government and governance, as well as global climate change. All of these factors provide inspiration to us in creating the blueprint to nurture what we call the UiTM brand of millennials. In order to do so, we in UiTM are shifting the way we educate by boldly breaking away from traditional didactic and content-based teaching into a much more learner-centered approach. By entrusting learning to the learners, the UiTM brand of millennials would be progressive thinkers who are able to constantly adapt and respond to future challenges. Creating the blueprint for future-proofing our graduates also require us to engage employers and understand their needs and expectations on the skill sets they require from their future employees. We found out that employers are no longer merely looking at knowledge or CGPAs, but they are expecting a lot more from university graduates. My dear students, the demands out there are constantly changing, and I hope by sharing with you our findings today, you would be better informed and thus be motivated to make full use of your time in UiTM. Employers are expecting many things. Among others, they expect the future workforce to be resilient and agile, with capability to take the initiative and adapt to new challenges. University graduates are also expected to show curiosity and innovativeness, offering solutions to the employers in order to navigate the complexity of the ever-changing world. Employers nowadays also demand graduates with excellent communication skills who will have no problem communicating internally within the organization and externally for operational and transactional purposes. Trust is also an important aspect. that employers are looking for. And to that end, they require future graduates to have impeccable character, ethical, and upholding values with integrity. Finally, employers also value initiative and enterprising graduates, those that they hope to own the task given and find ways to make it happen. The inputs that we received from employers was illuminating, not only in terms of what it meant to our current teaching approach, but also served as a reminder that UiTM should also evolve constantly so that we deliver education that would meet the employment needs of our graduates. Future-proofing means we need to relook at what we did and implement changes wherever we found ourselves lacking. In operational terms, this means that UiTM should produce lifelong learners, not just graduates. At the same time, our educational approach in nurturing our students should be about facing the world of work, not just producing workers, about unleashing potential and not just access to higher education, about challenging the status quo and not just conforming. Our students should also be nurtured to develop curious minds, not just recipients of knowledge. And this also means UiTM students should also be about understanding and embracing high moral values and believe in their role in ensuring societal progress and sustainability. My dear students, what I have explained and talked about just now are the many factors that affect the higher education sector. At this point, you might be wondering what should be expected from joining UiTM. What is this Education 5.0 at UiTM about? Well, Education 5.0 is about creating a learning-centric ecosystem that is sustainable, balanced, and principle-driven by values, powered by intellect, and afforded by new ubiquitous technologies. By joining UiTM, you will undergo a unique educational journey where adab and amanah are imbued in learning, find instilling values and principles as focus point in education, and experience a human-driven approach rather than a technology-driven approach to education. My dear students, Education 5.0 at UiTM is about nurturing the progressive thinker. In doing so, we aspire to develop students with the following characteristics. Firstly, agentic or self-empowered to decide on their own. Second, students who are mindful and responsive of their environment, possesses creative and analytical balance that they are capable of taking a larger view of things. And finally, students who are confident enough to embark on continuous learning on their own. You might be wondering how UiTM is going to achieve all that has been said. Well, this is done by placing Education 5.0 at UiTM at the center of everything in UiTM. At the institutional level, this means placing the students at the center of the university's agenda. For the students and learners, this is done by making sure that there is passion for knowledge, ownership in learning, and immersive and meaningful learning outcomes. Students are also trained and equipped with the attributes and skills of the 21st century. Finally, to ensure the centrality of Education 5.0 at UiTM, we entrust our academics to lead knowledge discovery through research and academic discourse. Academics in UiTM are expected to preserve knowledge by incorporating their research in teaching and publication. And finally, we also demand our academics to empower and bring forward communities through knowledge and conventional wisdom. To give all of you a clearer picture of what is happening, let me take you through the evolving higher education landscape. In UiTM, we classify the traditional approach to education as Education 3.0. This is where education is rigid and didactic, with structured content and learner-centered activities. In Education 4.0, the landscape evolved from a teacher-centric approach towards a more accommodating environment where learners are accepted as co-creators. We realize that there is wisdom in allowing learners to own their learning. To allow this, universities began to embark on micro courses and microcredits, where learners have some freedom to decide what they want to learn. In Education 5.0, learning is entirely driven by the learners. Education is now learner-centric, where courses and programs can be tailored to the personalized pathway required by the learners. Learners are also now active partners, with UiTM providing platform for seamless learning through micro-credential modules and specialized professors on-demand programs. My dear students, Education 5.0 at UiTM is something that we have worked really hard to make a success here in UiTM. The Education 5.0 framework, as explained, has been built on a solid foundation, and I have also explained about the goal that we aim to achieve. Now let me explain about how UiTM plans to do it. Let me explain about the 5 pillars of Education 5.0 that will drive this noble agenda. The first pillar of Education 5.0 is coherent and relevant curriculum. What this means is that to ensure that students are society competent, adaptive competent, digital competent, and personal competent, the curriculum must be designed in such a way that they are fluid, dynamic, and organic. In short, this means that we promise that our curriculum will not be static and outdated. Instead, our curriculum will always evolve. To ensure that this is achieved, the curriculum of our academic courses are reviewed every 3 years. Our academic courses are also more flexible with the introduction of multidisciplinary electives. To ensure future-proofing, we also engage industry and community experts, as well as expert faculty members with PhD qualifications during the curriculum design process. Pillar number 2 of Education 5.0 is innovative delivery and assessment. We believe educational delivery is very important, and with the proliferation of educational technology and applications, demand for immersive and innovative delivery will increase. Changes have been incorporated in teaching and learning by including technologies such as virtual and augmented reality and the Internet of Things. At the same time, we are also forging ahead with innovative assessment that allows better measurement of complex tasks related to intended learning outcomes. Gone are the days where assessments are limited to only quizzes and tests. Instead, we now have adaptive assessment, where students are assessed based on what they do and create. A meaningful learning experience is the sum of a holistic set of dimensions: agency, diversity, flexibility, inclusivity, respect, and relevance. Acculturation is important. In Education 5.0 at UiTM, learning is intuitive and adaptive. Learning is also seamless, and learning can happen anywhere, anytime, from any device, with and from anyone, and through any path. Thus, learning experience can be designed to be diverse and of variety. Pillar number 3 also focuses on relevance. Learning experience is emphasized beyond the intelligence quotient, IQ, emotional quotient, EQ, and social quotient, SQ elements. Adaptability quotient, AQ, is the vital element for learners facing with the 21st century challenges. Pillar 4 of Education 5.0 at UiTM is about transformative learning environment. Transformative learning environment is the expansion of unique and creative learning through adaptive, immersive technology to enable effective and meaningful learning. Transformative learning environment involves deep experiences, structural shift in the basic premises of thought, feelings, and actions among academicians and UiTM students to change their beliefs, attitudes, and emotional reaction towards UiTM Education 5.0. In UiTM, your exposure to such transformational learning environment will be through data analytic labs, simulation rooms, learning space, and makerspace. Pillar number 5 of Education 5.0 at UiTM is about inspiring educators. Great educators make students want to learn. It is therefore the university's aim for lecturers to be inspired educators, those with great qualities, proactive in learning, and enhancing abilities. All gain knowledge, skills, and abilities from academic and research work must be positively brought in and shared together with the students in class. UiTM also expects our educators to be inspirational, engaging, challenging, empowering, informed, positive, organized, and compassionate. Together, a flexible yet positive and fun workplace will be created. Such a workplace environment may stimulate strong work ethics, high productivity, and outright value of the organization. Most importantly, within such environment, students can thrive and be inspired by the educators that we have. Before I conclude, let me remind you again that realizing the goal of producing thinking learners revolves around you stepping up and be accountable for your own learning. UiTM can do many things, but for this to be a success, the desire and effort to learn and seek knowledge must come from all of you. Rest assured, you will constantly be reminded about this responsibility as long as you are in UiTM. But I have the utmost confidence that you will not disappoint. Thank you for listening. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.